What's up everybody, Nick Brengle here, and today we're talking about the Canon 10 to 18mm lens on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. So before I really dive into talking about this lens, why did I purchase this lens? Why do I have this cheap, fully plastic? I don't even know if the lens has, I don't even know if there's glass in this thing. It feels like a paper cup, basically. I needed something for an overhead shot for some masterclass work that I was doing. And so instead of renting, some other wide angle lens, maybe a nicer lens, I figure I will buy this $300 piece of plastic, the cheapest lens that you could buy that would give me the widest angle because that crop factor with the pocket. So right now I'm at about 14 millimeters on this lens, but because I'm shooting in 6K with the pocket, I believe it's roughly like 21 millimeters, I believe. So it's anywhere from 15 to 28 millimeter. That's the, I think, equivalent for the Super 35 sensor. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. There's some really good benefits with this lens, and one of them is the image stabilization that is just built in. You could turn it on and off if you want, but with Blackmagic, since there's no internal stabilization, I would just leave that thing on because it helps just even a little bit if you're shooting handheld. Like all the footage you're seeing was all handheld. I think so. There's probably a few shots on there that are on sticks. This whole video is being shot with this 10 to 18 millimeter lens, even this shot right here. That's why it's so wide and I can reach out and I can almost pull you in to the video. So yeah, so far I have actually really enjoyed shooting with this lens. Everything that you're seeing has zero ND filters, no filters at all. It was shot straight up with the lens, which was a little difficult. Some of the footage you may see obvious that it was sort of midday, a lot of harsh light, so had to step down quite a bit with this lens, which introduces a bunch of different challenges. Because it's not the best piece of glass, you're going to get some very harsh contrast and shadows and just not stuff that you probably naturally want to look for. But luckily, shooting in a raw format, you're able to bring some of that back, and in the moment you can sort of shoot for what you're looking for, especially if it's just for a YouTube video and you're kind of wanting to show people what this lens can do by just throwing it on a quick rig and running out and taking your beautiful wife and using her to just look good in front of the camera, which she always does so graciously. The other obvious positive thing about this lens is that it is so wide, and with the Blackmagic, because it crops in just a little bit, the 18 to 35 Sigma is definitely the best lens in my opinion. And I think a lot of people out here using the Blackmagic agree with me, but just to get that extra width, just a little bit more, definitely will help with just, I don't know, certain scenarios, overhead shots, some closer up things. It does say macro. I did not use any macro tubes or anything. I did a few shots that were very close. You can get very, very close to this lens and still rack focus, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a macro. It's not really macro. So that's really it. I wanted to give a quick representation of this cheap piece of garbage. No, it's a good lens. Everything again in this video was shot with this lens through the Blackmagic Pocket 6K in B-RAW, full sensor, 6K, rendered out in a full 4K timeline and uploaded in ProRes 422HQ. So gives you an idea of the process that it went through. And also, obviously, there's a color grade on it. There's the phantom LUTs that have been applied. There's grain and just whatever I did to make it look like I shot it and it's mine. That's sort of all the other little knickknacks that are attached to it, and that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, please, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, say hi. If you have a question, let me know. If this is your first time and you just stopped by because you were looking for a Blackmagic Pocket 6K with this exact lens and you hadn't seen a video, that's awesome, and hopefully you'll go and watch some of my other content and consider subscribing. Until then, yeah, go create something and yeah, be safe.